Melchizedek. Received through Julie Miller. May 31, 2015. Melchizedek.
How often have you considered yourself tolerant and good, then out of nowhere something happens that has you recoiling, gritting your teeth, fuming to lash out at the person who has upset you? To be tolerant, dear ones, it is necessary to comprehend what tolerance means. Tolerance comes with the understanding that you allow, both inward and outward of others to be different from you, that it is okay if others have different beliefs than your own and may not follow your way of thinking. You have experienced many times in your life already where tolerance was required. But what usually occurs is one dear soul pressures another to be more patient, to be more tolerant, that is defensive. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes and has suffered upset and turmoil. When you work on improving your own self, you will see that there are others just like you going through the similar changes. Don't be so quick to judge, acknowledge your sameness. Let your differences bring you together, instead of further apart. The more intolerant you become, the more your ego takes over and you become more self-centered. When you take measures to reduce your own intolerance, you are really lightening your spiritual pressure and burden, which removes any inner blockage pertaining to your path. When you have issues regarding how you relate with others, you begin by looking at your inner self, exploring and discovering where the upset came from. Many times all the other person did was trigger something that was simmering for a long time to come to the surface. When disharmony makes itself known, it's an opportunity for you to turn that around and bring harmony back into your life. When you feel disharmonic, quite often you display antipathy towards the ones that upset you, or at best neutrality. But when you focus on healing and dissolving intolerance, your confusion turns into clarity and your perception changes, it becomes brighter and more knowing. When you go inward to explore what it is that upsets you, you find you have many blemishes in your attitude, and it is those blemishes that will help you turn things around and become more tolerant of others. But first you need to become tolerant of yourself. How does one become tolerant of themselves? To be more tolerant of yourself, you need to accept what your personal limitations are in regards to your mental, emotional, and physical faculties. When you apply tolerance towards yourself, you are helping yourself improve in many areas as you come face to face with your truth. As long as continue to not accept any unchangeable part of yourself, you will not be able to accept others. It is essential, dear ones, to learn what it is you can and want to change and what it is that is unchangeable, and accept who you are completely. You need to ask yourself some penetrating questions that will require your absolute honesty. Are the changes you are to make really, truly worth your time and effort? One question may lead to another, offering different answers, and you choose what is agreeable with your heart, something you are willing to commit to follow through in order to make a positive difference. When you tackle the aspects of yourself that need changing, by applying an attitude of tolerance towards your actions and choices, you will encourage a greater possibility of completing those changes. The moment you become intolerant, you are simply adding more pressure and preventing any change from taking place. If you can truly accept yourself, then you can accept all of yourself, even in the way you do things, in order to become more tolerant of others. As you take the time to evaluate what it is in you that could use some change and more patience, determine if you can allow others, including those in your family, to be who they are, accepting them for the differences they bring. Are you able to allow your partner to be his or herself and not try to reform their beliefs and way of living? If you are trying to change how your friends or family lives, become their role model. Demonstrate through your actions, choices and words why following your path or a path similar is beneficial to them. Let them choose without force, and if they like being where they are, then love them for being who they are, just as they are. Understand, dear ones, intolerance does not encourage love, it raises animosity and is known to waste the precious energy of those it inhabits like a poison. When you let go of an intolerant attitude, what you are doing, dear ones, is gifting yourself a great gift of patience, understanding and acceptance towards others, regardless what label or group they belong to. You are able to see that they too are simply trying to get through their day, their life, in the best way possible. They too might not make the best choices all of the time, they are just trying to do what is best for them. Recognizing the humanness in each other, Seeing that you are more the same than different will help bring you together instead of further apart. Deciding to become more tolerant is more than an active choice, it's also a deliverance from old stagnant ways of being and moves you towards being able to observe more acute intolerance aspects that might be lurking and waiting to raise its ugly head inside of you. To see intolerance more clearly, you need to become aware of its effects on you. When you become aware of how intolerance makes you feel, then you are more observant of the thoughts and feelings that pass through you. Tell yourself, dear ones, that you are more than any self-centered thought or feeling. Intolerance may be a visitor to your consciousness, but it doesn't have to claim you or stay with you. For those on a spiritual path, does it matter if you are tolerant or not? It is hard to move forward positively while harboring venomous thoughts and attitudes towards others. To move in the direction your heart is taking you that is aligned with the heart of God, the purer your heart is, the purer your journey becomes. Cultivating a pure heart is necessary, dear ones, if you want to attain deeper levels of consciousness and connectedness with God. Whenever you permit intolerance to poison you, you are also creating a blockage in your connection with God. Learning to become patient and tolerant with oneself is a lot of work and a great challenge. It is one that is ongoing and requires daily upkeep, but provides many long-lasting rewards. As we near the end of our transmission, think about where in your life you can become more tolerant and patient. Not only will you be doing yourself a whole lot of good, your relationships and interactions with others will also benefit for the better. I am Melchizedek through Julie Miller.